How are you all doing? Right, a few things to look at today. So it's going to be a fairly long video, so be patient, everybody. Be patient. Some good stuff. You'll find it interesting. A lot of history. So what we're going to look at? Well, we're going to look at this beautiful little Chubb. This is a 669. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Chubb. It's got a little hasp on the back, and I'll show you how all that works in a moment. So we've got that we're going to look at. Now, the same sort of lock is in here. So Chubb London, this used to be a coin bag. It's gifted to me a very long time ago. And it was Barclays Limited. It must have been a coin bag at some point. Probably back in the 60s, I should imagine, 60s or 70s. So we sort of cut it off. So the lock's still there. And we're going to have a look at that. I've never ever opened this one, so it's going to be interesting. We've got this little hasp there we've got to get through, so that's going to be interesting. But before we start all that, what else we've got to look at? Well, something a bit special actually. My friend Rick, so Rick, thank you very much, sent me this on loan. It's quite a rare GPO number 6 Chubb London. Very rare sort of lock. Used on old telephone boxes and whatnot. It's a bitting of the key. It's 6 levers. And it's a very perplexing lock, I must admit. There's the actuation of it there. Works like a treat still. Now, I did ask the question on Facebook. Anybody know about anything about these? So if you look on my Facebook link, you'll see that I did ask the question, and some really kind people have given me loads of information. I was wondering how these were, as it's a bit of history, were mounted. I was actually sort of sealed into a unit, because I was thinking, well, you could quite easily get those screws off and take the front off, but apparently not. They were sealed in, so it's actually encased in something. So the only way they could get through it is to open the lock like that, and have to sort of pull it out with a key, I suppose, and get at the coin box of the phone. So Rick did send me a beautiful letter, and I shall read it out. Hi Andy, please enclose what I believe to be a fairly rare lever lock. It's a GPO number 6 lock manufactured by Chubb. The number 6 lock was used on all public coin collection boxes from 1930 to 1980s. What makes the number 6 fairly rare that there were standing orders for these locks to be destroyed when they were no longer required. Engineers had to fill it in a disposable form to prove that the key and levers had been properly destroyed. Why would you destroy something sound lovely? Great bit of history that is, by chucking them into a solid fuel furnace. He goes on and says, I acquired this lock from a chap in Australia, which probably explains why it survived. Cheers, Rick. So Rick, thank you very much for sharing this bit of history with us. And we show these sort of locks. Obviously they're not in use anymore, that's first and foremost. But they are part of our history. Okay? Chubb is an extremely large part of our history, so it is nice to see how things evolve and how they work. Now, some engineering parts of these locks are better then than they are now. So yeah, definitely always a pleasure to look at things from the past. You can always learn from it to going forward. So it is a beauty, and that's Rick's channel. So I'm going to look for Rick, and you'll see him out and about. So Rick, thank you very much, and I shall get it back to you, my friend. I know it is quite precious to you. So we're going to have a look at this, and then we're going to have a look at those other locks I just first showed you. And then, of course, we're going to sort out what we're going to do as the giveaway for this prize draw for this week, for the giveaway for the supporters. Right, so first and foremost, before I had a look at that lock, I thought I had to find something so I could I collect stuff like this. They come in handy. I had to find a key that the pipe was going to be small enough, because that's a pretty small lock. It isn't that small. So I had to go through all of these keys. That's not too bad actually, but a bit bent. So yeah, I had to go through all of these keys and try and find something the right gauge, so I could sort of attempt to make a pick. And I had a good old look, and I did. I just clamped it up with this old disc detainer thing. Just cut a slot in it. You can make one out of a nut and bolts, dead easy to do. These are already pre-threaded, so the disc containers are shite, so we're going to use this instead. So we've got this little tiny piped key, and I've had to cut that tip weeny. You see how tight I've had to go into there? So we can make a tool so we can tension that lock. So we'll move that out of the way. Put in the lock position. The problem is, it's such a tight gap around. You can see. It ain't going to give me a lot of room. Nowhere near. So, we'll pop it in the vise, and we'll see how it behaves, and I'll show you a little bit more. So I shall see you over there. Right, let's have a look. We can see that bolt going across there. It's in the lock position. So, right, Rick Tisolski, lock support. So many thanks for loading this so we can share it with everybody. We'll have a look at a piece of history. That's what we're all about. So we're gonna have a go. Cut down keys in there. I'm not holding my breath too long. It's going to last, but we're going to give it a go. Let's see if I can get something in here. Let's have a look. So we've got the tension on there. We're going to tiny weeny little wire. I'm going to drop them in there, and we can get. You got to make sure you get front and back, because if you start stuttering on the case, you're never going to get any control. You get no control, you're not going to get through. So can we feel anything? A tiny little bit of movement there. A lot of tinking. A bit tight on the first one. Everything seems so, it's so tight. It's almost like it's a funny sensation. It's almost like the levers are so tight. I'm pushing them up, and they just seem to coming back down. So they're pushing straight back down again. So I've got a little bit on that one there. And nothing on that one there at all. Nothing. Even if I take the tension off, look, that's a bit odd. A bit there. Try some small little movements. It's like there's nothing there. It's just I can feel them, but then it starts pushing back. Even at the front. What's that one at the front? A bit there. Two. It's solid in the middle again. And they're just dropping back down. Look, it's come straight back down again. Oh, bit of binding there. I reckon we're going to have another go at this one, or it's going to go in the naughty bucket. Rick, I think you're going to have to put this in the naughty bucket for me for a while and have another attempt another day, because I'm not getting a lot of binding at all. You can't win them all every day. That's a bit odd. Let's go and have a look what's going on in here. Why are we not winning? Why are we not winning? Let's have a look. You'd stand there and watch, or sit there and watch me all day, wouldn't you? Right, we've got some screws to get undone on here, so let's have a look. There's one. I don't lose them. It ain't mine. So, how's your weekend been? Has it been alright? The old car boot season's up again. I bet you some of you will be up tomorrow. See if you can find any decent lock sort of hunts on there. You can pick up some bargains sometimes if you have a good old look. Don't get robbed though. Make sure you know what they're worth before you put any offers on them. Because some of them car booters are a right little git, to tell you. Right, just now I don't want to break it, so got a little bit at the back here. It's popped up a little bit, and then we'll have to push it. Can we get the other side to come up yet? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right, I can't afford to lose anything. It ain't mine to lose. Right, what's going on in here? Let's have a little look then. Why does it give me so much grief? Well, that is the most unusual little lock that I've seen in my life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levers. 4 notches on the top and the bottom, and they are nastily deep ones as well. But what's this? What is this? What is that? I know what that is, and I've never ever seen it in an application like this before. It's actually, as soon as you start lifting those levers up, it's pushing them down. So let's get that key. So no wonder I won't get anywhere. Rick, what you like? I'm not saying it's not unpickable, but I suppose it ain't far off. No, I'm going to be careful I don't lose everything. So look, when you, oh, there's the spring coming off there. It's travelling through. It sits on those levers, look. So it's pushing back down. What a brilliant security feature. It's pushing back down, especially on that second and third. And I'm right by looking at that second and third, if we can get a bit closer in, is a really, really low one. So on the lowest lever, it's actually, the little bugger is pushing it down. So the highest lift that you've got, it's pushing it. Oh, how did they work that out? On all of these, is the central one always going to be the highest lift? I don't know. Does anybody know? Please leave a comment below. That is crafty, that is. Now, when I was pushing, get me wire in, and I was pushing up, and it's pushing back down. So let's have a look. What we're talking about here. Let's pop that in there. I know it's a long video, guys, but hey ho, we wouldn't have so much fun if we did. Oh dear. So what's it doing there? What's it doing to me, Rick? Have you picked this, Rick? I bet he's laughing his little socks off at me now, isn't he? Right, I'm going to hold all them there. So now, what happened to it? See, look. Can you see it pushes it back there? No wonder I couldn't get through it. Oh, Rick. I bet you probably picked this bugger and all somehow. I don't know how you do that. Would you get through the compression or? Yeah, some of these, like that one's real tight. That one will stay up. And he just pushes them down. I bet there must be a binding order in here somewhere, but the first one, oh, here we go. We're starting to lose stuff now. I didn't push it anymore. I don't want to break it. Oh, that is a tricky bugger, Rick. That is a tricky bugger. Maybe another day, eh? Maybe another day. But what a beautiful, iconic lock. Yeah, I can't win them all. So, well, we better go and redeem myself and go and have a little look at something else and have a quick pick of something else, and hopefully at the end of it, I might get some redemption. But Rick, definitely, what a true beauty, a bit of history that is. I can see why that would be a very difficult pick indeed. What a beautiful design. Right, must move on. Let's shove something else in and try and redeem my reputation quickly. Right, we'll have a look at this one as well. Make sure we're not disappointed we get to pick something. It's 669. Chubb. So the name of this game is we need to throw back that bolt enough so we can get hold of and release this is the other side of the hasp of that bag. So it's going to open up and we can release this part here. We hope. Chubb, 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 Chubb. More lot of Chubbs. Oh. Difficult, but very well made locks. I must admit, very, very well made locks. So, we see him jiggling about. He ain't coming out, I assure you. He is proper. You'd never force him out. You'd never get him. He's proper stuck in there. So we've got to throw this back so it lets go of it. Right, let's get this wire in here. I think I'll count about 4 or 5, but we'll open it up and we'll have a look. There's one. Nice jump on the back. Oh, he's alright, he's ticking. He's not. Everything else seems a bit dead. Let's reset him. Nice jump there. Tick, tick, tick. He's gone solid though, he has. Oh, we got him. So she's coming round. So we've got to be careful. We cannot throw him all the way. Out comes your little hasp, so the bag got open. So it just drops back in there. Now if we lock back up, hasp is well and truly stuck. Right, let's find something to open the bugger up with. Let's have a look here. What we got here? I've only got one little screw holding it on, I think. Hiding on here. Let's have a little look. And we'll get a bit closer so you can have a look at what's going on with all this stuff jumping out at me. So that's the back end of the plate. Okay, so we'll bear with me, you might get seasick. So, very unusual levers. Let's move this around a little bit. So the first one. Oh, come on. My fingers, look at the size of my fingers trying to get in this hole. Okay, they're a tiny little pair of pliers. Have we got any numbers on them? Not that I could see. So a bit unusual. So you can see that all of these must line up with that gap for that to open. So they're all different heights. So the first one is a real, seems quite a high lift. No full notch though. So we'll put him down there. And then if I can wiggle him out. Second one. Okay. That's your actual gate. A little bit like 3G 110. You know, it's sort of not so much that the actual bolt's got to go away through a gate. It's got to line all up with these sort of indentations in the levers for it to work. So much higher cut compared to the last one, and we'll just compare. That was the first one, so you can see much higher cut. Looks like the little baby alien to me, but there you go. Watch too much films. Absolutely crap on Netflix lately, isn't there? Crap, Jesus Christ. Right, I digress. That's number 2. So we've got 3 more to go. So there was 5, and my little fat fingers are not always going to get in here. So we're going to have to do a bit of a wiggly wiggle to get them out. Right, what's this, number 3? Somewhere in the middle. Yeah, lovely little levers, isn't they? Number 3. So we've got number 4 and number 5. Come on, off you pop, you little buggers. 4 again, in the middle. Tiny little springs. And the final one. I know my hand's in the way, like, we'll have to get the buggers out. Again, a little bit lower this time, so we've got quite a different indications. So you can see there, let's move this around a little bit. That's where your bolt was. And let's get that tension tool. It's almost, we're getting to that point. As you can see that widen up and let go. Do a little, so that actuation of that, it actually widens our up, so you can open it all the way up and release that part there. Okay, so look in the locked up situation, this bag. So I managed to get everything in. I know you can't see brilliantly, but I'll try my best. Tension on with my fingers. Slowly nibble them up. Bit of movement there. Everything has gone solid, so reset. Four, three, and one. We're open. And yeah, there's spiders, but there's there's nought in it. There's nought in it, but we're open. We're open. Oh, that was beautiful, wasn't it, eh? So I have to pick it now so I could reset it and shut it again. But yeah, I've had this for years and years and years. I've never been able to open it, so I eventually spent a little bit of time on it. And I thought, let's get that bugger open. What a beauty. What a piece of history, eh? Piece of history. So, Rick, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And I shall get it back to you ASAP. And you can live in your naughty bucket for a little while. And we'll have another go in the future. It's time to think about that. How I'm going to get around that little bugger. Pushing it down there. Bloody hell. Right. So, enjoy the old cabinet. We enjoy these Chubbs. Beautiful, beautiful. So what's going to be this week's prize draw? Now, this was gifted to me. I've locked it back up again now. This was gifted to me a very, 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 very long time ago. Safecracker 33, if I remember rightly. It sent me this a long, long, long time ago, and it's a beauty. And it's been sitting around here for ages, probably rotting off even more. But I'm going to pass this on. So it is a lovely bit of history. And then someone can have a go at picking it and maybe keep it as a collector. Definitely a collectible. Definitely collectible now. You don't see things like this anymore. So, supporters giveaway this week. Well, you're looking at it. I'm going to say ta-ra to this and let somebody else give it a bit of love. So, supporters, thank you so much for your support. Really, really appreciate it. And if you do like this content, leave the old nice comments, nice interaction. Remember, Learning Discovery channel, especially on some sort of vintage locks. So we really, really appreciate that. So that's going to be fantastic. And if you want to support the channel, the links are in the description below. And if you want to purchase something shiny, again, there's a link in the description below to get in touch with me. So everybody, stay safe. Best of luck for England tomorrow. I'm crossing both my old fingers. And have a fantastic week. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Rick, you're a star. Cheers. Ta-da.